Welcome to Switzerland, the land of stunning mountains, peaceful neutrality, and precision watches. But behind the calm and beauty lies a long, fascinating history filled with alliances, revolutions, and the birth of one of the world's most stable democracies. Let us journey through time and uncover the complete history of Switzerland, from its ancient roots to the modern era. 1. Kaunon Fau, Fanan Fortri. Ancient beginnings, the Celtic and Roman eras, before 500 AD. Long before the Swiss flag ever flew, ancient tribes roamed these lands. The earliest known people were the Celts, particularly a group called the Helvetii. They lived in the central plateau of what we now call Switzerland, farming and trading with neighboring tribes. In 58 BC, the Helvetii tried to migrate westward, but they were stopped by none other than Julius Caesar at the Battle of Bibracte. From then on, the region became part of the Roman Empire. Under Roman rule, cities like Aventicum, Avenches, and Augusta Raurica thrived as trade and cultural centers. Roads, baths, and temples appeared, the marks of Roman civilization. But by the 5th century, the empire fell, and Germanic tribes began to move in. 2. The early Middle Ages, invasions and Christianity, 500–1300 AD. After Rome's collapse, Switzerland became a crossroads of migrating peoples. The Alemanni settled in the north, speaking a Germanic language, while the Burgundians took the west, speaking a Romance tongue. This linguistic divide still shapes Switzerland today, between German-speaking and French-speaking regions. Christianity spread rapidly during this era, and monasteries like St. Gall Abbey became centers of religion, education, and art. By the 9th century, Switzerland was absorbed into the vast Frankish Empire, ruled by Charlemagne. Later, it became part of the Holy Roman Empire, a patchwork of semi-independent states. Though under imperial rule, the Swiss valleys remained isolated, and this isolation gave rise to a fierce spirit of independence. 3. The birth of the Swiss Confederation, on 1291–1515. Here's where the story truly begins. In 1291, after the death of Emperor Rudolf I, local communities feared being dominated by outside powers. So, 3 forest cantons, Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden, formed an eternal alliance for mutual defense. This pact is considered the foundation of modern Switzerland. Legend has it that around this time lived William Tell, the folk hero who defied Austrian rule and became a symbol of Swiss liberty. Over the next centuries, more cantons joined, forming the old Swiss Confederation. They fought off powerful foes like the Habsburgs, defeating them in famous battles such as Morgarten, 1315, and Sempach, 1386. But not every war went their way. In 1515, at the Battle of Marignano, Swiss forces were defeated by France, a turning point that made them rethink their expansionist ambitions. From that moment, Switzerland adopted a policy that would define it forever: neutrality. 4. Reformation and religious division, 1519–1648. The 16th century brought a spiritual earthquake. A priest from Zurich named Ulrich Zwingli led the Swiss Reformation, calling for a return to simpler Christianity, just as Martin Luther was doing in Germany. However, not all Swiss cantons agreed. The country split between Protestant and Catholic regions, leading to several civil wars. The Battle of Kappel in 1531, where Zwingli himself died, symbolized these painful divisions. Then came John Calvin in Geneva, whose strict Protestant theology turned the city into a center of reformist thought and attracted refugees and intellectuals from all over Europe. Despite internal strife, the Swiss remained united enough to survive the chaos of the 30 Years' War, 1618–1648. In fact, the Peace of Westphalia, 1648, Officially recognized Swiss independence from the Holy Roman Empire. 5. Revolution, Napoleonic Wars, and Rebirth, 1798–1815. The French Revolution's ideals, liberty, equality, fraternity, swept across Europe. In 1798, Napoleon's army invaded Switzerland, ending centuries of loose confederation. He created the Helvetic Republic, a centralized government modeled after France. But the Swiss hated losing their local autonomy, and chaos followed.